Hello and welcome to another episode of Mike and Dave's Hi-Fi Riff. I'm Mike Evans.
And I'm David Price.
And David, on this week's episode, what are we going to be chatting about?
It's a Bluesound node icon streamer, Mike.
Very good.
If you don't know.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
I think, am I right in saying, gosh, you'll forgive me if I'm wrong, this is the first Bluesound piece of kit we've reviewed, isn't it?
It could well be.
I don't think we've done anything before, because they've had some really successful pieces of equipment, haven't they? With the various things which they've got, like the original node, and then they're the power node, and then sort of evolutions from there. And I think, am I right in saying that this is their top of the range one at the moment?
It is. So to use Bluesound's PRs, carry on.
Beer, thank you.
Carry on. Can I have one too?
No.
All right, I'll have one then. So cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
So cheers, guys. To
get on with
use, to use the words of Bluetone's PR, I'll just do the Jeremy Clarkson voice. It's the best streamer ever built.
Right.
No, that they've ever built.
That
not
they've
ever
ever
built.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Well, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine, because it probably is.
Yes.
It probably
Yes.
is. And look.
Well, I think it is, actually.
And here it is.
Yeah.
Here it is. There we are. Look at that. Beautiful. And I'm almost loath to touch it because it's a bit of a fingerprint magnet.
Yes.
But as a result, it does look really rather beautiful when it's not covered in my
So
fingerprints.
you don't have your Michael Jackson white gloves.
But that's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you get with sort of acoustic energy speakers, you get a pair of white gloves to go with them.
Yeah.
I'm rather taken by this.
Yes.
I think it's really rather good.
I hate to say that I am too.
And can you just explain why you hate to say? It's because you're an analog kid.
Yes.
And not a digital man, in the words of Rush.
Indeed.
So
thank you very much for
you're welcome.
that
You're welcome.
affirmation by Neil Peart.
Yes.
And also, I'm a physical rather than sort of internet person.
No, sure. I totally get it.
In the words of Olivia Newton-John, let's get physical, but with media.
Yes, okay.
So
glad you qualified that. Good.
So, give me a CD or an LP, and I'm happy.
Yes.
But that doesn't have anywhere you can put any of them in.
Strangely enough, no.
Yeah.
No.
But
But do you know what? It is a rather lovely piece of equipment.
it is. Yeah.
And I think what it does, its strengths are, it doesn't really have any weaknesses.
Yes.
It does so many things so well, and it's got a little bit of everything for everybody.
Yeah.
So there's really no streaming platform it doesn't work with, including Spotify lossless.
Oh.
So just a bit of a word to the wise here. If you're
Yeah.
using lossless, you have to connect via the Spotify Connect app.
Yes.
And then you have to go back into your settings, because it will then default to automatic rather than lossless.
Right.
Which will depend on your things like your bandwidth and stuff like that. So you actually have to physically set it to lossless.
Yeah.
And then just to confuse you, it doesn't say it's lossless on the screen, or at least it doesn't on my screen.
Right.
But it does on your phone.
Yeah.
It tells you on your phone that you're into lossless. So which is cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. But it works really nicely with the Tidal Connect, Cobas Connect as well.
Yeah.
All of those things.
It's got also Apple AirPlay 2 and aptX Bluetooth.
Yes, there we are.
aptX Adaptive Bluetooth. So basically everything that's kind of hot, and
Absolutely.
some that's not, and some that are not.
Yes.
In terms of streaming,
It's got a really nice little panel on the top. I don't know how well we can see that. I'm trying not to reflection from the windows, but it's got a panel that sort of disappears in view. It doesn't tell you what anything does.
No,
it just looks nice.
Yeah,
So
it's very well, nicely made as well. It's metal cased, isn't it?
It is.
I think. Yeah.
I haven't used it without the app.
Yeah.
You just do sort of everything via the app, and that's it. But it does have the buttons on the top.
Yeah.
And a really lovely screen, which it's also got a really nice clock. So you can have it when it's on standby.
Yeah.
It's a very nice sort of clock radio kind of effect.
Yeah.
But just at the back, I think there's a few things here which are worth mentioning.
This is when Mike gets really excited.
Balanced outputs.
Yes.
Okay. Which probably unusual at a streamer under £1,000 because I think this is £900, isn't it?
Yes.
So. And actually, something which people have talked about on Riff before, it's got an HDMI input.
Yeah.
So you can plug your Blu-ray player into it, which is pretty funky.
It's eARC as well. That's the latest.
Yes, eARC. Yes, which is excellent.
And I'll just, if I may, I'll just add that the XLRs are exclusively to the node icon. So basically, there's 3 new nodes out, and the icon is the top model.
Yeah.
And the node icon is the top model, and that has XLRs. I'm trying to remember what else it's got. I think it's got also what distinguishes the icon from the cheaper ones. It's got the aluminium chassis.
Yeah.
And
dual mono DACs.
Yes, it's got the dual mono sort of top of the range flavor of the month ESS Saber. I think they're 9039 Q2Ms.
And if you didn't want to use those and you wanted to upgrade and put it into an external DAC, then you've got either coaxial or optical Toslink outputs.
Yep.
So you can easily bypass it. Yep. So they're not being sort of snobbish about it and saying you can't take the DAC out. Not like my name Unity Atom, which is you can only use that DAC and nothing else. So but there we are.
Well, that's because it's obviously the best DAC in the world.
Yes, and their £10,000 one isn't as good.
Right,
yeah, quite. You can put your USB, whatever external drive full of your FLAC files onto it as well,
network
which I think is quite cool.
No, it's not network attached storage, but it will.
It'll do. You can just plug it straight in. Yeah. So quite liking sort of all the gadgets, all the things. You can fix the preamp level out, which is what I've been doing, to be honest. So I've been using, rather than using the variable preamp output on this, I've just been fixing it and then I've actually been using my Exposure 7 preamp again.
Yes.
So I plugged it into the Exposure 7, and then of course that's manual, so there's no remote. So I've got to do that.
Acoustic Energy nicked it, didn't they?
Acoustic Energy, Matt Spandl nicked it. Yes, and used it at a Hi-Fi show because he wanted to pair it with the AE1s and have a vintage of that era system. So excellent.
And remind me when that Hi-Fi show was on.
About 15 years ago now. Yeah.
It's funny it's taken him such a long time for it to come back.
No, I'm not complaining because I've still got his AE2s.
Okay,
and we need to... Anyway, we won't go there. We won't go there. Matt, you're a legend. Yeah. We'll talk about Matt again in another riff.
Yes.
So I've been using the fixed output here.
Yeah.
What you can do is you can plug it directly into a power amp, obviously, and then use the variable output, and so you can use it as a preamp if you want to. Haven't tried that very much. I did a little bit, but not all.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the direct line outs are going to be better than the variables. Given that the problems with digital volume control, but but all the same, you can use it as a sort of. I mean, you could even run it into Bluetooth speakers, or you could. Connect it using the variable line out to any other sort of power amp type thing, couldn't you?
It's a great point.
Yeah.
Do you know what I've been using it for? So I've taken the optical output of my TV and popped it into here, and as you say, because you compare it with Bluetooth speakers, because it's actually got Bluetooth out as well as in, then I've just been using it with Bluetooth headphones. So it's actually been the most brilliant way I can watch telly, and it sounds great actually through Sony, really decent Sony headphones.
And do they make such a thing?
Well, I think they make some great Bluetooth headphones. I think they're market leading. I genuinely do. I think they're superb. And the fact that WF 1000 FM6s or whatever they're called have just come out, which are supposed to be amazing. I haven't heard them
I was only having a go because they're yours personally.
Yeah, no, sure. They are mine personally. Actually, that's a really nice sort of secondary purpose for it. So you've got it obviously as for your hi-fi system, but also you've got it as a fantastic headphone amp for television viewing. So
and if I can just stop you there for a second.
Sure.
So, look, it's got...
Yes, it's got a headphone jack on the side.
On either side, on both sides.
That's it.
So Mike wouldn't know that because he's kind of all modern and Bluetoothed.
Yeah.
But if you have an old-fashioned analog pair of headphones, which obviously sounds better than any digital type.
Would you call that a his and her jack?
Well, I suppose you could do.
So you can both sort of share, bop along at the same time.
Or I think, if you have your node icon in a corner, you could stick it in one corner and use the jack on the other side, and then if it's in a different corner, so it's like increased flexibility in positioning. Okay. So I thought that's quite a nice feature, actually.
That's very cool. I hadn't noticed it. So that's absolutely brilliant. That's so good. And I think more importantly than probably anything we've talked about. Oh, before we do, I will just say one slight foible I've got.
Yes.
So if I want to use Rune on this, then I hardwire it into my network.
Right.
So I stick the old Ethernet cable in the back and we're in. But if I do that, then it then can't see any of my apps.
Oh.
So because it goes from wireless to wired.
Right.
Okay, and then because it's not wireless, my phone can't see it.
Okay.
So I can't use Tidal Connect, Spotify Connect,
right.
All those things if it's hardwired in. Now, that might be a deal breaker for some people because it may be that your Wi-Fi is a bit slow.
Yeah.
And so you need to hardwire it in.
Yeah.
And then really you're restricted to Rune. As far as I can tell, I can't see it on any of my networks, and I've got various things here.
So you can only control it via Rune, which is
if it's hardwired.
Okay.
And if I make it so that it's wireless, it's Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I can control it by everything but Rune.
Okay.
So there we are.
That's a bit weird.
It's a little bit of a foible, but I guess it's not going to be a deal breaker because I think you either do Rune or you don't.
Yeah.
And if you do Rune, you don't need to have Spotify Connect and all the other malarkey that goes with it.
Yeah. So what do you think of the BlueOS app?
It's great. Again, the only issue I have is if you're hardwired in, I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
They couldn't talk to each other.
Yeah.
But really good, really good. But I can't help but think that Spotify Connect's really good. Now we've got lossless.
Yeah.
Qobuz actually has quite a nice Connect app and Tidal. So you've got three really great streaming platforms, all slightly different, which all connect very easily without using the BlueOS app. But they put a lot of thought into it. It's won awards. They put an awful lot of thought into it, and it's baked into a few products as well now. So NADs and things.
Yeah.
So.
And so you basically got all of that plus Rune for rich people like you.
Absolutely. Yes, who can afford £99 a year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shocking.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
It sounds really good.
Yeah.
We were having a blast.
We were. Yeah.
We played some cool songs.
We did. Yeah.
We played Pump Up the Jam.
Indeed.
Which was
by
Technotronic. And it was really pumping up the jam.
It was.
Wasn't it? It was chucking it out.
The jam's all over the listening
There was
room.
a lot of jam.
It came out and it was...
More jam than Hartley's.
Well,
more jam than Paul Weller.
That's... Right, let's just stop that. That's silly, Mike. Let's carry on with our serious bit.
Really?
And
well, I changed the habit of a lifetime.
Yeah, well...
and also, you played, actually, a really interesting Japan song.
Yeah.
Which was...
My New Career.
Very good. Which is one I'm not massively familiar with, being a big Japan fan as well. That sounded awesome. That sounded really, really good.
Yeah.
And we played a bit of Talk. Happiness is Easy.
Yeah.
Played Thomas Dolby, Dissidents.
Yes.
Which was, again, really great, stonking bass line. It's not low on bass, is it?
No.
Detail
is
great.
Yeah.
Loads of information coming in.
Yeah.
And in fact, the level of detail's really good. So when you're on, say for example, Tidal, and you've got 3 or 4 different versions of the same album, and one may be high res, one low res, one CD quality, whatever, you can absolutely tell the difference between them. It's really clearly obvious because it drags lots of detail from the source, from the stream.
Yeah.
So I really like it.
Yeah, and De La Soul's I know as well.
De La Soul.
Yeah.
Now I was surprised at that because for ages that wasn't available on the streaming platform.
Yeah.
So as a result, I haven't heard that in ages.
Yeah.
Even though I've got it on vinyl.
Yeah.
I haven't played it in ages. So that was great to hear.
Well, I was very disappointed because I knew it wasn't available and I was trying to score a point over you.
And it was on Qobuz.
But it was on Qobuz. Last time I checked, it wasn't. So, unfortunately, that was Mike 1, David 0.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to go away now and find something really obscure to ask me to play next time I come along, which isn't on stream.
The reason I'm late all the time is I'm trying to find tracks that aren't commercially available on streaming.
Yes.
So it takes a lot of time, Mike. It's getting ever harder.
Well, it is.
Still quite a lot, though. But,
That's a good sample, actually, because that's Peg by Steely Dan, isn't it, from
it
Asia?
Is. Yeah.
And actually, that's got a lot of bottom end grunt, isn't it? Quite a difficult song to reproduce because of all that bottom end grunt.
And we were just for clarity's sake, we were playing it through an old pair of Musical Fidelity AE2s, weren't we?
Acoustic Energy AE2s.
That's the one.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Sorry. I always get the two confused, even though there's nothing in common.
And it may be that we've released a riff on those already, depending on our sequence of our riffs. But if we haven't, there is a riff coming on.
Basically, the Acoustic Energy A2 sounded absolutely fantastic with that De La Soul track.
Yes, yeah.
And also, for some strange reason, your Exposure 7 and 8s.
It just worked.
Did the business.
Just worked with it, yeah.
So actually, this actually was the source component in an 80s retro system.
It really was, yeah.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Yes.
Sounded annoyingly good.
It did. It did.
And, I'm not a huge fan of ESS DACs, but that's really good.
No, and I think this is a fairly complete package.
I do, yeah.
I really do. And I think, okay, maybe it's not for if you're proper major audiophile, maybe it's not your main listening room, but it is the ultimate second room system, source. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, and you could buy it as it is, and it would stand you all right as a good medium quality music source, and then you could then put a really nice DAC into it.
You could
later on.
If you wanted to.
And it's got a lovely user interface. It's really nicely made.
It is, and
it's not insanely expensive. So
no.
I hate to say it, but I quite like it.
I love it. I think it's superb.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd do that. I think I don't think I'd use it just as a transport. I think I would use it as a complete package.
Oh yeah.
I think if I was going to go down that route of having a transport and then a DAC, then I'd probably have something like the Cambridge MXN10 for sort of £400.
Sure.
As the transport, and then
makes sense,
and then spend you'll put something like your Hugo TT2 DAC on.
Yeah.
I think otherwise, say for example, if you use this with a Chord Qtist,
yes,
you might get a bit of an improvement in sound, but it would be a very expensive way to do it.
Yeah, I think you would get, but all the same, I know what you mean. There are cheaper ways to get a good digital transport, aren't there?
Yes, yeah.
But all the same, it's a great package.
I think you want to look at this as like the one-stop shop. Yeah. Just a really cool solution to a great streamer, which works really, really nicely with very few issues at all. Pretty easy to set up, up and running, away we go, nice app, nice interface, and looking really stylish and elegant.
And it streams, everything you really need. It also does DSD, it does MQA, remember that?
I remember MQA, gosh, yeah.
So, it's as you say, it's a one-stop shop, and I hate to admit it, despite it being a streamer, I really like it.
It's great. It's brilliant. And if you admit it, that's amazing.
I know, it's really painful to say.
Do you know what frustrates me, though, is I was looking for a copy of Riders on the Storm by the Doors to play. Okay, and on, I think it's Tidal, there are 3 different versions.
Yeah.
And they're all, different, remixes and different sample rates and so on. And there were 2 high-res and 1 CD quality.
Yeah.
So played the first high-res, sounded quite good. Played the second high-res, sounded okay, not much difference. Played the CD quality, and it blew the other 2 out the water.
Wow.
And I mean, it was absolutely a different song, totally different song. And from literally the first, how kind of Riders on the Storm starts with the storm and the rain in the background.
Yeah.
So you could actually hear that.
Yeah.
Whereas when the high-res versions, you couldn't even hear it. It was just like a sound.
That's always a great sort of audiophile test track, actually.
Yes,
isn't it?
yeah.
And
It's a
the
great
rain
song
sounds
too.
like rain rather than kind of white noise.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. So with the high-res, it sounded like white noise.
Yeah.
And I get really, we've talked about this before, I get really frustrated with, which version do you play? Yeah. And more often than not these days, I'm just defaulting to the CD quality version, because you probably know it hasn't been messed with.
Yeah.
So especially for old songs.
Yeah.
Like that. But this is very revealing, does all those things beautifully.
But could that be because you're an 80s throwback, Mike?
I am an 80s throwback. I'll play, when we finish this riff, I'll play it to you and you will be astounded at the difference between the two. You really will. So there we are. But look, no, I really like it. Comes with a high recommendation.
I'm not saying it's bad to be an 80s throwback. Just look at my haircut.
Look, I had all those opportunities, and you knew I was skirting around it. I didn't mention it, so there we go. And on that note, excellent.
Yes.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much indeed for watching another episode of Mike and Dave's Hi-Fi Riff, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.